everyone. Welcome back to the Jasmine Ortiz Show. I am so excited to have my very first ever band on the show. Super exciting. We usually do solo artists, entrepreneurs, music industry professionals, so it's amazing getting to have a full band here for the first time. Today, we're interviewing Los Wizzards, Miami-based funk, alternative, indie rock band located right here in the 305. I can't wait to introduce you all to them. And you can see we're all matching, we're all styling with our little glasses. So can you guys give a warm welcome and introduction for yourselves to our audience?
Yes. Thank you for having us.
Thank you, Jasmine.
Thank you so much for being here.
I know, we love it. We love it. It's so good. I think this is the first interview that we're doing post the release of our album. So this is quite exciting.
Congratulations. I was at the release party. Holla.
Hey, but by the way, you're gonna be there on the July 17th, the concert of the band. That's a actual
Let's
release
do it.
concert.
Let's do it. Yes, I'm excited.
That's
It's going to be the
fire.
official first concert that we're going to present the album. We're going to do a big show, and we're just so excited because we're working so hard for it. And we're just excited to share it with the world and show the energy of the band. That I feel like that's what represents who Los Wizzards are. Pure energy and that connection to music and to the
I could just tell from the energy in the room. For reference, I was there when the album dropped at midnight. Everyone in the audience, I know it was closer friends, family, industry colleagues. Everyone was so excited, and it was truly an enigmatic experience. From Wismer dancing around when it was playing over the loudspeaker to you guys physically playing live. What was the highlight of that night for you?
Listening
For
to the
me,
album.
listening the songs on the speaker, because for us, I think that was more like a listening party. So I don't know, they being able to finally show the songs to our friends. That is, if you think about it, is the people that we pay attention the most, because I think our family and friends are the most honest people that you can find, or thermometer. My family, for example, is like they keep it 100
Real.
with me. It's
Real
not
love.
like, oh, because it's you, we're gonna cheer you every time. Like they were saying, like, bro, you're being whack, or like,
Yeah.
or this sounds incredible. So I don't know. That night was about that, and I don't know, seeing everybody vibing with the actual production of the songs, because most of our community here in Miami know us doing live shows all the time, but trying to bring this project to the table and actually like seeing the reactions of our people, it was something so beautiful,
That's so real.
and everybody were like vibing with the music. To us, it was a very vulnerable moment and special.
Exactly. I wanted to add to that, Sammy. Yeah, the same thing. But I wanted to add the getting naked kind of metaphor. Yeah, because the vulnerability that you're talking about, guys.
I didn't know we
stop
were
it.
doing all that.
Wait, Ron, shout out here.
It was Jasmine's fault. No, it's it's vulnerability. You exposing yourself to that, and that was the first moment that we could actually play our songs on, like, as Sammy said, on the speaker, and looking at their faces is like they like it. Oh, they like it. Oh, wow, you guys love. Oh, great. It's tricky, but it was special. Yeah.
It was very
Yeah,
special.
I don't know. I can imagine or like compare it with, imagine having a baby and this is the first day of school. Like you literally don't know if people gonna bully him or like
Yeah.
make him feel incredible, and then you just need to wait and see how people receive it, and so far it's so beautiful to see the reactions online and on TikTok especially, and I don't know, everybody using the audios or like even like texting us saying like, this project is so fire, I love the quality, I love this verse, this detail. I don't know, it's so beautiful, so beautiful.
We're very proud, Dad.
I think something you said, it definitely resonates with me, that it almost feels more vulnerable with people you know and care about, because
Especially-
they know they've seen the good, the bad, the ugly of all these different parts of your life. So they are going to be straight up with you. I mean, they will be your biggest supporters, but they're also going to be your most honest critics. So I think it's valuable to have people like that in your corner who are going to be real with you. I mean, my parents are like that with my own music. It's like, they want to support, they want to love it, but if it's not hitting, it's not hitting, and you have to be honest with yourself. And I think it's important as an artist to be able to take that constructive criticism and feedback. If someone's showing you a work in progress, that's when they're open to receiving that criticism.
As musicians, I think, because I mean we've been in the industry for so long. I know personally the story of every member of the band, and I know you can say that we can maybe develop this thick skin, but like the truth is, maybe I don't know, you try to overcome certain feelings of like I don't feel nervous, for example, to go on stage. It doesn't matter the amount of crowd and people, but like to us, like creating this project is a different type of feeling. I think the moment that keep us like feeling challenged is especially getting to the studio, because right now I will say like yeah, on live shows is something that we've been doing for so long. Theo, imagine being in the industry for so long, like since he's a kid. Same with Wismer, but like I don't know, this felt totally different, and yeah, I don't know. I also love that feeling of like, we nothing is promised, and we are trying to do the best with our music.
When we're on stage, it's like a shield. We can dance, we can party, we can bring the crowd in, and it's more than just the music itself. But when it's just the music, then as Wismer said, it's vulnerable. So it's scary, but it's beautiful. And me personally, I mean, I'm the new member of the band, so it's been a beautiful new process. And I went from being a fan of Los Wizzards to being part of Los Wizzards, and it's been just the most surreal feeling, because I've never had so much fun in my life, and I've never been surrounded by people that are like-minded like me, that I feel like I can be crazy with, and they're gonna be crazy with me, and it's just that brotherhood that it's so fulfilling in so many different ways. And I've said it many times to the boys that I don't think I've ever been more proud of a project that I've ever done in my life, because I just have seen so much, not just detail, but attention and care into this project, and how everybody has put so much effort into bringing it to life. And so seeing it going from that little quattro demo that we did here in my little studio in my garage to being the beautiful piece of music with so many different elements from different parts of the world. I mean, we recorded all around. We recorded here in Miami, we recorded in Argentina, we recorded in Santo Domingo, and so many different people that made this beautiful piece of art. And so it comes with a point of like, humbleness, yes, of course, but also pride of saying, hey, we did that. And so it feels really good.
And that pride is well deserved, because I know, just as well as any artist, how many steps it takes to get to that final product, how many edits you have, how many version 1, version 2, version 3 you have of the same recording. So what was that process like in making this project? You said you recorded all over the world. What led to those different collaborations or different locations that you worked at?
Well, we worked with an amazing producer called Juan Carlos Perez Soto. He's a Venezuelan Latin Grammy nominated singer, songwriter, and producer, and Latin Grammy winner. He's unbelievable, and he wanted to work with us for so long, and we have been, in the family, being around for a long time. When finally at the beginning of the year, we came up with the idea of finally putting an album together, especially now having Theo on board. He's new in the band, but he looks like you can't tell that he's new in the band. It's like he was.
I couldn't tell.
Yeah, he's a great wizard. So, and Juan Carlos Perez Soto, he jumped on board and he took the songs. We pre-recorded like 25 songs, and we sent them to them. And then he came back with, okay, I like these 8 songs out of 25. So he's very picky with that, and we love that. We respect that so much, and we respect his producing process. So then he created the approaches, the first demos of those versions by himself, and he came back to us and say, guys, these are my arrangements. This is how I think it should sound. Now let's get into the studio. And in that process, we're back and forth. Thinking like, what if we record some horns in this song, and what if we do we can add some instruments in here, and then there's some ideas that we couldn't make happen, but there is a bunch of beautiful ideas, and that's how.
But I want to add on that I don't know, as artists, of course we always learning different things, and we want to develop our sound. But to us in this particular project, I feel that we really try to collaborate with the community of artists that we know here in Miami, and it was so important Juan Carlos did an amazing work, but we, for the first time, open ourselves to hear other ideas from different songwriters and musicians. I think that's an important lesson that we took, because sometimes we can be on a repetitive loop of repeating ourselves. Like I'm no, I know exactly what I'm about to do on this song, or what chords I should play, or even me as a rapper, like, and but then you bring another person to the table that make you think in a different way. So that's something beautiful that we started to see it here, and especially people that care, people with really good taste, that, as we said, people that are really honest and that we also admire. So
Yeah.
it's almost like, kind of like, putting our egos on the side and, like, listen others people ideas, and then try to, think outside of the box. And that special moment to me, like the pre-production of the album, and it was something so cool, because, for example, as a rapper, it's something that you like all the rappers always say, that, nobody can write a bar for you. You should be able to tell the truth every time. But at the same time, I know so many talented people that come up with hooks, ideas, and even punchlines that I'm like, how come you think on this? So and also, it was so interesting to see their vision of the band. It was like, oh, so you think we should sound like that, or like that genre will sound incredible with the band. So I don't know. It was beautiful to see it.
You're totally right. That's the actual first part. These friends getting together to write songs for us. Those 25 songs, which, I mean, we have still the remaining songs pending, but those first songs. I mean, the single of the album Mandibuleo was written by Alemor, Hector Martinez, and Theo Buck. And oh my god, it's, I mean, we couldn't do anything but just playing what they wrote. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I was like, as Sammy said, like, thankful for the chords that they put it together for me as a whiz. These are the, I'm the guitar, the cuatro player on the band, and they came with this chords and said, oh, okay, I'm right, I have to play this. And then,
This is it.
yeah, and then the producer Juan Carlos said, but let's create this bridge. Wiz, what if you do this and you do that? And that was beautiful, because they gave us a different perspective of art, of our own music. That's incredible. And now we have this masterpiece. And I'm mentioning the 8 songs because we released 5, but we have still 3 new songs that are gonna come up later, and we can't wait. I mean, I know that Teo and Sammy are with me. By the way, we're not just 3 band members. We're 6 band members. Roy G from Jamaica is not here. Rafa Querales on the bass is not here, from Venezuela, and Joseph Ballestero on the drums. He is in Mexico right now. He's also from Venezuela. Are the 50% missing of the band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to everyone else who couldn't make it today, but thank you guys for being here.
No, we love it. We love it.
And
I just noticed that.
I wanted to
Sorry?
finish just the idea of recording
Please, Matthew, please.
the recording the horns in Dominican Republic. We met these guys on a gig that we had in New Year's Eve in Punta Cana, and when the opportunity of recording horns came, I called them, and it was like telling a kid, "We're gonna go to Disney on the weekend." For them, it was like, "Oh my god, yes, let's go!" And I said, "Can you guys record today if you want?" Was the response? Like, let's go.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
And that was the beautiful thing. Like, everybody jumped on with so much excitement. Everybody had. I feel like this is a band that has created so much love around a community around it. I mean, I felt it first-handedly when I was not part of the band, how I wanted to do everything for the band because I just loved it so much. And it was so cool how, like, we reached out to people and there was no second thought. No, it was just excitement and desire to be part of it. So it's something that I mean, I don't think any of us would have expected, and it just felt good to be part, to bring our people.
That's how you know you're part of something really special, when everyone immediately jumps in with good energy, excitement, and everyone wants to be a part of it. So I want to know a little bit more about how this all started. So Wismer, I assume because of the name, Los Wizzards, this is a play on your name, right?
Yeah, there is actually a guy that plays the banjo. His name is Bela Fleck, and he has a band called the Flectons. Bela Fleck and the Flectons.
Okay, cool.
It's an amazing band with all stars. Victor Guten on the bass. They're like amazing musicians, and he put it together in Bela Fleck and the Flectons with the banjo. So he's one of the guys that I look up to, and I said, okay, at the beginning maybe because I was putting the band together, it can be Wismer and the Wizzards, imitating that concept. That was so beautiful. Then because at the beginning it was instrumental. Then Sammy,
Really cool.
yeah, then Sammy came to the project, and I said, I
Mhm.
think it sounds wrong to call it Wismer. I don't want it to be like that. The Wizards are already there, so let's call it Los Wizzards because we're in Miami. And I remember at the beginning I was always in the front and presenting the band, and because it started as a jam band, and I was the host. And then later on, I remember telling Sammy, come to the front. You be the MC. You take over. This is your band. And he came from a very respectful space, like, bro, but I think you should be in the front. And I said, yeah, whatever, I can be by your side, but please, you do take over. You're the singer. You're a rapper. You're a dancer. You're a star. You belong to. You're a frontman, and I'll take care of the directing the band and the managing all that. But it's beautiful if you're in the front. So it's so nice that we were fighting about being like, no, not
About
you,
the other person
like
getting
pushing
to
the
be in
other
the
one.
spotlight. Yeah.
But
I
you
think
know, I
that's a healthy dynamic, honestly,
Yeah.
especially in a group setting. You have to have that kind of humility and selflessness when you're moving in a group like this.
I like to say that we came from a magical moment, so it makes sense with Los Wizards because I don't know. Even that you were talking about the pre-production of the songs, and I don't know, call it faith or God, whatever. But like how the pieces like are like together, and I don't know. It felt like meant to be. Even now, Theo joining the band to me is like something that sometimes I feel like that. Like everything is written, but it's so beautiful. So that's why I don't know if we had a problem or a discussion or whatever, then you remember the magic, and you understand something special that you have, and it's something that people will die to have it. So
Yeah.
but that relationship and that family that we built, and that concept of knowing the magic that we can create together is something that is so well connected with the name of the band.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I love that. And when did you guys officially start? When were Los Wizards formed?
September 2016, we started like
Amazing.
playing
Wow.
around, yeah, and gigging and doing a lot. I remember that we were doing just jams, right, at this little coffee shop in Doral. And later on, we moved on from that, and I took that was the moment that when I took the lead as a manager. I said, okay, let me take these guys to a different space, and then I convinced them, and I said, guys, let's do this. I found this gig and I want you guys to perform here because we found a gig at Faina Hotel in Miami Beach. And I told them, guys, this is a great opportunity. We are a lot, so we have to split this budget between a lot of us. It's not much money, but if we stick
Yeah.
together, and they believed, they say, okay, let's trust.
Yeah.
They trusted, and they say, okay, let's do it. And that was the beginning of a lot of beautiful stuff. And just to make the story short, we became the house band for the Miami Heat. And I remember
Wow.
that. I remember Rafael Querales, the bass player. He's a big musician. So he has been in big festival, big stages around the world. And he's a Grammy winner. So he's been around. When I told him, "Hey, we want to do a battle of the bands in the arena," he was like, "Wiz, battle of the band, Papa, trust me." And he said, all right, let's do it. So he went, and when he later we became the house band for the Miami Heat, and when we were playing at the stadium, and he came to me like, bro, I did it. I thought you were crazy when you talk about it, about this, and look at us now.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you for trusting. Thank you for being my how do you say? I forgot the
Partner
word
in
in
crime?
Spanish. Yeah, partner in crime. Yeah, that's a beautiful word.
Yeah, yeah.
Because what there have been, and they believed in the dream, and now is a shared dream. It's not just mine. It's for.
I'm not gonna lie, like to be honest with you, I don't know if the guys feel the same, but like I don't know, I'm the hardest like critic of my art. So many times I have like imposter syndrome, like bro, what are you doing, bro, with your life? And then when you get to see the reaction, is what I'm saying, and people like really, really appreciating your music and everything that you put together. And I don't know, it's like a confirmation every day, it's like winning that battle of the bands, or like even creating this album, or whatever. Like people that literally open their businesses for us to make a video is something like I never take
Mhm.
any of that for granted, because it's like the universe saying like, bro, you are in the right
Keep
path,
going. You
keep
should still
going.
do this. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. So don't give up, and I don't know, that's an important message.
Yeah, especially because we have
Absolutely.
a lot of fun. We are having fun in real time on stage, and we had fun in the studio. Each day we wrote the songs, we putting together the songs. That each day at the end of each day we were like, oh, that was so fantastic, sounding so great, and went to the studio. I spent 11 hours recording the cuatro.
I was there.
Wow.
11 hours. At the end, my hand was like closing by
Cramping.
itself, like.
Like cramping.
Yeah. And I walked out of the studio and I told my wife I could die today. Like what I just recorded is the most beautiful thing, and I'm so happy. I'm so proud. It doesn't matter if people don't listen to it. I don't. I'm happy. I'm fulfilled. So and that's how I feel when I play with them. Sometimes people ask me like, "Do you ever get like nervous when you're gonna perform with Los Wizzards?" I say, "Bro, what are you talking about? I'm with the Avengers. Nobody's
You're just
no,
having fun.
yeah,
Yeah.
everything's gonna be alright, So that's how I
Yeah.
feel when I'm with them on stage. And
That's something that's so special about being in a group. I performed in various bands throughout high school and college. I was definitely in that path for a little bit, and then I became a solo artist. And I think there is so much excitement and energy in being in a group and being all in it together versus kind of going it alone. It's a different sport, kind of, so to speak, because you're dealing with the manager hat, the social media hat, songwriter, producer hat, even in a band. As a solo artist, it's like you don't have as many opportunities to bounce those ideas off of others unless you're actively collaborating with people. So I think it's really wonderful how you guys have been able to mesh and meld your ideas together and really make it work as a team first and foremost, because that's what is going to help you succeed.
Absolutely.
yeah, well,
It's
Teo
true.
can tell you about it because Teo just moved from one world to the other.
So Teo, how did you, besides listening to the group and seeing their shows and seeing them perform live, how did you get involved musically with?
I mean, it's been quite the journey. As you were saying, the whole process of being a solo artist, I've experienced it my whole life. I've been doing music since 12 years now, and I'm 22, so I started when I was 9. And it's been I feel like the hardest part was the loneliness. I feel like the hardest part was being at school and not having friends and having bullies going against me and not understanding why people wouldn't understand my love for music. And then I came here to Miami 5 years ago and it changed my life from Italy. And again, I was alone because, COVID and life and everything. Then I thought I had found the people, and then I got stabbed in the back and everything. And what happened? 4 years ago, I was at Latin Grammys in Las Vegas, and I was performing in this little presentation festival in a club and everything. And I probably did not do that well, but I was there. And the best part of that night was when I saw the boys. When I saw the boys, I was like, who are these guys?
Yeah.
The way a show that was a presentation showcase for many different artists ended up becoming a concert of Los Wizzards in that moment. I remember I was with my mom right beside me. I was 18, 17, and I was like, I cannot believe it. And I wanted to find a way for me to like somewhat know these people. And I went to Sammy, and I remember I was like, you were amazing. And Sammy was like, this guy's a weirdo. Like, I remember clearly. I was so excited. I was just so happy in that moment. And what happened in the past 4 years, a lot has happened. But the best part was that I was working on my solo project, and I was working with some people that, I mean, I have so much respect and love for them for everything that they have done. But at the same time, they took me away from what my essence is. And my essence is having that fun. You know, I started doing music because doing music for me was like playing, like I was not playing video games. I was doing music when I was 9. You know, I was touring and I was doing the voice and I was doing all these things, and so that was my favorite thing. And they were trying to take away that energy. They were like, you're being too much. Like, take it down, take it down, take it down. And at one point, I didn't even feel myself when I was on stage. And the only place where I could be myself was when I was jamming with Wiz. So I remember I used to go to the jams at Macondo and all these places, and I remember I was looking forward to it because it was every Wednesday, and every Wednesday I was there. And I remember the first jam, I went there and I did not know what song to sing, and I probably messed it up so badly, and I was so disappointed in myself. And then slowly it ended up becoming like I was there and they were there for me, and we becoming more friends. And then we met the Grammy, the Grammy that then the other Grammys was in Sevilla last year, 2 years ago. And we were all staying in the same house when Wiz got nominated with his wife Alemor. And then at one point it was just like, even though I was not in the band, they were part of the family that I knew I wanted to be part of. I went to Wismer after I left my label last year, and I was like, man, I want to start. I want to start working with you. I want to do something. I want to get involved because I see how hard you work, but not only how hard you work, the kind of person, the good heart that you have. And if there's one thing that I know in this world is that there's not many good people. And unfortunately, the
Yeah.
music industry is full of a lot of sharks. And I know, I fell in love with just who Wiz was, Wiz is, Sammy is, the wife, Alemor. And that's when he told me, Theo, why don't you join the band? And I was like, what?
Yeah, yeah.
It was a
You're like,
moment of
well,
disbelief, and I was like, well, let me think about
well,
it. Yes. But you know, it's crazy, and I still can't believe it. When I used to work with those people that I was telling you about, I used to show them videos of those wizards, and I was telling them, "You guys, I want to have this kind of energy in my own show, in my own music," and they wouldn't understand me. They would kind of like make fun of me,
Mm.
and that's when I realized that those people were not the people for me. And so
And
now
you weren't surrounded by the right energy at that point.
exactly. And that was especially it. It was the energy around it. And for the first time in my life right now, I feel like I am the place where I'm meant to be with the people that I am meant to be. And I'm having not just fun, but I'm feeling so loved. And then I feel like I'm putting effort into something that not only brings me fulfillment, but I also feel like appreciated and loved from this family that Los Wizzards is. So it's a beautiful thing. And I wouldn't change it for anything in the world.
and I wanted to say that we are not like selfish at all. Like for example, we just did. Teo had an invitation as soon as he joined the band to do his show in Spain, and we were like, "Bro, we're gonna be your band. Like you need to kill it, and we're gonna be there for you." And it's so beautiful because we see that pattern with all the members. You know, like Roy, for example, put a single out. I was acting in the music video, and he was, doing this featuring with these incredible artists. And then same thing happened with Wismer. Like so many people approached to him to produce events, and we're trying to, contribute or like help with something. And same with Rafa and Yusef. Like everybody want to play with them in big tours. And I don't know if the money is good. Like we are the first ones saying like, bro, you should take this opportunity, see you, when I see you, but you need to take this opportunity, and then we're gonna come back to do the Avengers movie, but
You know what?
Do Iron Man 2, and then we're gonna come back and do Endgame.
exactly.
Exactly.
See you here to do Endgame, but
You
like
Yeah.
not solo.
And
Yeah,
you know what's beautiful? Joseph, the drummer, he was playing with for big artist, and he went to Jimmy Fallon, and I called him the
Wow.
day after and said, "Bro, I saw you at Jimmy Fallon. How was it, man? It was good. I can't wait to come with the Wizards." Yeah,
Wow, that's
I
fantastic.
was fun, but I want to come with you guys. That's different,
Yeah,
and
that's family.
that's special. Yeah.
it's beautiful. Yeah,
I really do believe that a rising tide raises all ships. Like anyone that's winning on my team, I'm also winning. If
Yeah.
I'm winning for everyone on my team. And I mean, I feel that way with people that I've known in the industry the past 5, 6, 7 years, some people I know have already found a lot of success in different elements of the industry, whether it's in publishing, songwriting, recording, touring. And, some people are still figuring it out. But I think vice versa, it can really help everyone in your community if you're willing to, be a support, even if it's not always an opportunity in the moment. Just being there, supporting, following along on social media or staying in touch with people, I think that goes so much further than people expect it to.
Absolutely. Yeah. And there's a successful, what is successful? What is success?
Everyone has their own definition.
And for me, is playing with these guys. On Monday, we have a gig. And I can't wait to get on stage with them.
Bro,
that's it,
That's amazing. Where's your next gig?
We have a private event.
Oh, okay, that's exciting. I can't wait to see you guys at your next public event.
July 17th. You're going to be there.
Yeah, I have to. So what are some of the venues that you've been able to perform at in Miami and other places?
Definitely. Well, I need to mention the Casella, the first time that we performed with the Heats.
Amazing.
Also, that's a fantastic venue.
Incredible. Imagine, and Roy was singing the anthem, the national anthem.
That's
like
crazy.
Dude,
what?
Wow.
Sammy, remember we did the legacy celebration for Dwayne Wade, and we were the house band.
That was incredible too. Incredible.
That's insane. Yeah. Wow, that is so spectacular.
Dwayne Wade in front, the jersey going up, and we were the soundtrack.
Well, so many shows, but like closing the NAMM show also is a convention that we...
Wow, yeah, of course.
We admire so much, and then like we were like the last
headliners.
Show, like the headliners. That's also super crazy.
That's huge, yeah.
Yeah, we did the Amaran Arena also. In one of those opportunities, I ended up like winning a show with MTV. It was a big thing. We did a big commercial. Thank God I put the band in the commercial also, but then Pepsi invited us to do this festival, and to us it was incredible. The band was in the same page, like saying like, bro, like let's go as Los Samihagan, Los Wizzards or whatever. Let's try to come up with some hybrid show that we can do all of our magic there. And then the show was incredible because we were on a big festival with big names in the industry. So I don't know, so many moments, I would say.
It's hard to choose.
Yeah.
But what I felt like in this period that I've joined the band is that the cool thing about what Los Wizzards is, and I still sometimes I feel like it seems hard for me to put myself into like, oh, I'm a wizard, because I always see it also like from an outside persona. And so I'm like, what makes it Los Wizzards so special is that no matter if you're in the Casella Center or in the middle of the street, the energy is always the same. And that's what it doesn't matter if it's the biggest venue in the world, or it's just the people that we love, or just some random strangers that are just there and took a moment just to listen and to be there with us. We're going to give it everything. And that's I felt like for so long I had so many expectations of myself, and I was always comparing myself to other people, and I was never enjoying the moment. And right now, like literally, I remember one time we were doing some videos that we were like doing a takeover of Miami, and we were on the streets of Miami, literally playing on the streets and singing, and I was having the time of my life, and I was like I can do this my whole life. Like this is what the band is. It's not the stage, it's us. And having not just that security, but that fulfillment, that personal fulfillment, to me, it's irreplaceable.
Do you remember the feeling of that bar mitzvah like a month ago? It was a bar mitzvah like at noon. Afterwards,
that was crazy.
Roy called me like, bro, I feel like I just did the Super Bowl halftime show. Like, yeah, me too. It was so cool with the random like small sound equipment. We put it together by ourselves because that was a small event.
Yeah,
and we had so much fun.
So many things. Oh well, we shake Michael Jordan's hand like before a show. Like that was a small venue. Is as Theo saying, like sometimes like the smallest are the ones that you're like, wow, this is incredible, because it's the what we create in that moment is incredible. But also sometimes when you see I don't know, it could be one person in the audience that to you like it means a lot, and of course like you are like, wow, I need to kill it because one of my idols is in front of me. Like,
yeah, of course.
Jasmine, just to give you an idea, Casa Tua in Miami Beach, Luis Miguel jumped on stage to play with us. He ended up
Oh my
playing the
gosh.
That's a
choir
highlight.
Wow.
with
That's
me.
a highlight.
Luis,
Bruh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
At
insane.
that point, like, wow, you're on cloud nine.
Literally.
Super
Like,
Cloud Nine. But what I'm saying is that show was so little, and but at the same time, it felt like what
But it was
incredible.
huge. I mean, yeah, I think your audience and obviously someone like Luis Miguel being there and not only being there but participating in the show with you. I mean, that's another level. Like you might as well be performing at the Grammys at that point.
This
exactly.
Like,
year,
the energy is there.
this year we did Formula Uno, and then Wismer did an incredible cuatro solo, and then Juanes approached to him saying like,
Wow.
giving him flowers like, bro, this instrument, like what, this is an
what did you
electric
know?
cuatro.
It was
Wismer,
insane.
after that, Wismer like, don't talk to me, bro,
To me, bro.
and we cannot share the same space.
Have you talked to Juanes?
Juanes came up to me.
Exactly.
Talk to me,
Have you
Papa.
Juanes? No. Exactly.
Gosh.
It really
Wow.
is surreal. And I just want to point out one thing because I feel like the people that are listening to us, they feel like everything is like gold and flowers and beautiful and everything. And we make it that like we live it in the most beautiful way. But people don't know that like we're independent artists. So we to create this album, we have been putting our hearts and soul and like also struggling. Like why do we do so many private gigs? Because we are doing it ourselves. And I feel like not many people really put importance into that, and I feel like for so long myself when I was signed and everything, I took so many things for granted, and that's why this is even more special, is because we know we did it, and having that feeling, it's insane. And so I just want to put it out there.
There's a lot of struggle with being an independent artist. That's something we talk about a lot on the show. I've had a lot of other independent artists that I went to school with talk about it and come on here and just kind of explain what that process is like. But there's also so much pride that comes out at the end of the experience when you look back and you say, wow, like I actually interviewed a friend of mine who had just filmed her very first music video. She coordinated the hair, the makeup, the choreography, the extras, the location, the cinematographer. She did all of that herself. She was basically executive producer as well as artist, as well as hair, makeup, everything, stylist. So she said to me, the stress going up to that day was incredible. But then the relief and the pride she felt and the accomplishment she felt at the end of that day and coming back and editing it and, making it the vision really come to life, that was invaluable to her, and she wouldn't have changed anything about it. And I think it's a struggle for sure. I think all of us can attest to that, but the outcome is so much more beautiful. And I also think it allows you to have so much more creative liberty than being with a label.
Oh, absolutely.
It's important. It is important to see it not as, because struggle is a word. It's a strong word that we put there. But I mean, I've slept on the floor with a smile in my face, thinking, "Wow, I'm able to do this in order to achieve my dreams, and I'm happy."
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't
Same.
say, I wouldn't say play on the street. I wouldn't say it was for me in struggle. I was having fun playing on the streets for tips. I've been doing that. I did that at the beginning, and if I have to do it again, I will do it with a smile on my face.
Mm-hmm.
But my point is, yeah, I don't feel like any sacrifice. I've been just having a great time and growing and growing. I mean, as a manager of the band, because we have a management team, but I'm the main manager in the band. Also, I wake up in the morning and say, okay, what do I do to take these amazing artists that trust me to the next level? So we have to come up with an album. Just to let you know, the album, we paid for the album with the gigs, and it's not.
Mm-hmm.
How can I tell you? It's a very expensive album because we decided to do it the right way, the old school, like going to the actual incredible studio to record it the right way with the right producer, the
Every instrument is
mixing
real.
engineer, mastering engineer at top level. The mixing engineer worked with Prince, for example, right? He was the mixing engineer for Prince. So this is just to give you an idea of the level that we got into to create our music, because I said, bro, we have to do it right. We want to, look backwards in 20 years and say, wow, what a great album, man. We're so proud of the music that we created. And right now, when I approach to clients, and, asking for, hey, if they're going to do the event, the private events, the weddings, or whatever. Now we got an invitation for a festival in Medellin, so that's also great. And we are already talking to the NAM show for next year. We're moving around, and I'm so happy to manage the team and to have them backing me up so we can create more beautiful experiences together for us and for our community.
Hey, but it's what we do. Sometimes I think
Yeah.
I'm not talking for myself. Like sometimes I feel like we don't have an option. It's like God give you that gift, so you need to be responsible
Go.
with it.
Yeah.
You need to be the
Yeah.
best that you can with it, and especially when you see people connecting with it, it's magical. It's what we're trying to do. Trying to become the soundtrack of people's life. So that's it. You know.
Wow, I love that perspective. I think that's really valuable also for other independent artists to hear that, everything that you go through to get to that point, all of it is worth it in the end because that's your passion. It's what you love to do. How did this musical medley come together? Back to the actual music. What are some of your influences that have inspired this mixture of sound that you guys are now creating together?
Bro, our references are crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. And yeah, if we talk about music to each other, it's insane. Like Rafa have so many knowledge, for example, in his brain. Even with Teo, I was mentioning to him like Italian music that I knew, and he was like, "How come you know? Like what? Like this is it's crazy.
It
It's
is all
crazy."
there.
Me as a rapper in Venezuela, of course, like the old school. So many. I don't know. Wismer enjoy like from funk to soul to R&B. So many, so many.
I was in Argentina, so I know in Brazil and Uruguay, and I know all that music, and it's there somehow. Those chords, those sounds, those colors, those textures are in there. So we bring all together, and we don't think about it. I mean, if you want to mention someone, we can mention Bruno Mars, and we can mention,
So many, so
yeah,
many.
Michael Jackson, of
And
course.
Roy, for example, the Jamaican, wow, it's insane because of course it's something that I share with him on stage all the time, and he can talk in patois, and then he brings the Bob Marley and reggae influences. But then
That's so cool.
one day, out of like this is so random, but one day we did a wedding, and I remember Wiz invited us to to perform on this wedding, and then we did the gig in the afternoon, and then he said like, "You want to come with me to see my old band?" And it was this reggae band in South Beach, and I was just enjoying the show, and then I see him on his element with people from Jamaica. I was like, wow, I have the honor to play next to this dude. Imagine all the talent and music that he been collecting from gospel in church, from festivals with music that I'm not even aware of, but he have that knowledge and his spirit, and he bring it to us. So yeah, that's why I'm saying like our references is like endless.
All over the
You know?
place.
I think that's why your sound is so unique and why it works so well together because you all bring in such different elements.
Mhm.
And like you said, you're not actively thinking about, okay, how do I include this one? How do I take something out of this element? I mean, it's just organic and it's pulling from the breadth of musical knowledge that all of you collectively share.
Yeah, I personally love when people they listen to the song and say, "Oh, you guys sound good," or "You guys sounding great with the performance," and then there is someone in the audience that said, is that a cuatro from Venezuela?"
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, how do you make it sound like that? I love because I love the fact that they forget about the instrumentation and they just dance and jump and have a great time.
Mhm.
If you can think
Yeah.
if you want to think about it, of course we can talk about the process of getting this traditional instrument into the pop funk world music. Great, we can talk about it, and it's a great topic. But at the same time, music is about feeling. Music is not about thinking. Music is about being, and we love being ourselves and let it go. If I do something that sounds like folkloric and this and the way I'm playing, leave it there. Sounds good. Sounds great. But
And in a
it's,
way,
it's not forced. That's my point. Yeah, go ahead.
Mhm.
in a way, I was about to say like it's interesting to think on everybody's playlist because probably the music that Wiz listen all the time is not the music that I will put in my car.
Yeah.
and that happened with each member. So that's beautiful. Probably one of the unique moments that all these planets align is on a project like this.
Yeah. I mean, most people would think that
Absolutely.
we're crazy.
But there has to be some level of genius in the crazy, right?
The crazy.
I think every genius has been called crazy at some point, and if you're not kind of looking at a project and thinking, okay, this is a little bit out there, I mean, maybe you're not pushing hard enough. So I think you guys did a great job with that. I loved hearing No Me Importa live.
Hey,
That one was stuck in my head for days afterwards. So I want to know a little more about that one. What is the meaning behind that song? What does it mean to you? Because I thought it was so fun. It was so energetic.
So
hmm
beautiful. That one was one of the ideas that um, two incredible songwriters, Alemor and Matias. It was also like they were presenting an idea of how they see the band. So it was one of the first moments that we are like, oh, okay. So you think
that's
we
how you see
we
us.
yeah, that's how you see us. So it's very unapologetic. It's so truth because it's as I'm saying, like we are artists. It's what we do. So the song is kind of like about that. It's like sometimes we get stuck on so many things that aren't like related at all with the art
Yeah.
and that beautiful magic. So the song is pretty much about that. It's very interesting because if I think about it, like, the moments that I'm the most depressed and like is when I'm not creating.
Mm,
It's like a feeling that I need to execute like pretty much like every day because otherwise I feel so miserable.
yeah.
So the song is about that. Like I don't care what the system tell me what to do. I live like romanticizing my life because this is how I feel.
It's who you
So
are.
it was a beautiful feeling. All of us connected in the moment. When we hear the demo, we were like,
Let's go.
yes,
That's
I
it.
love
Especially
that. I love everything that you just said. That was fantastic.
beautiful.
yeah.
Especially the part of, bro, I don't, because right now artists are so focused or too focused on the algorithm and what people's gonna like. And we can play a dangerous game of forgetting ourselves, forgetting the expression, forgetting like
The
those,
true
yeah,
point of it.
those artists that we
Yeah.
admire. They were just being them, themselves, and sharing it with the world, and we resonate or not with it, right? So it is important just to
Yeah.
express yourself, as Sammy said. And the song is, yeah, it's beautiful when it said lo que diga, whatever algorithm wants, I don't care, bro. This is my music, this is what I'm gonna do. And if you like it, good. If you don't like it, bro, it's okay, see you around. And this,
I want to add
Yeah.
like also like making it sound like Miami. That was another task.
Mm.
Then we were like, okay, this is the topic of the song, and then I started the song, but then a crazy switch and reference that I don't know why had on our brains. He's like, bro, you remember that song La Comia? Like it was like very low, and then Teo was like, what if I rap in Italian on this one? But with that, and we were like, what? We were like, okay, yes, and then a verse of Roy in English. We pretty much make the song sound as a party in Miami, like because for real, if you're in a club in Miami, you can literally find
Hear any language.
yeah,
yeah,
Especially
exactly people from all over the world, tourist people. So the song is also like making you feel in a party in Miami.
Oh yeah.
I love that. And I think something that you guys said was really important. A lot of artists get caught up now with what the algorithm's going to like, what social media is going to like. How do you guys balance, I guess, that push towards social media artistry being so important and social media promotion being so important while also maintaining that authenticity? It's clear that you guys focus 100% in on the music, on the message. How does that translate to the pressure of being an artist, quote unquote, on social media?
well, the album is called Algorithm, just to give you an idea of our statement about that. But I think the boys
I love that. Yeah.
algorithm, like we put in rhythm into the algorithm, and there's the intention of being ourselves. I think that's the most important thing. We're
Yeah.
always being ourselves, and thankfully Sammy and Teo, for example, they lead the social media content, because they love it. They love doing that. So they're not pretending being a content creator. No, they love it and they lead the rest of the band. Hey guys, hey Wismer, can you send me a video like this? Well, come to my house to do this. I need you to do that. And they direct the actions that we want to do, and they record it and they edit it, and they love that side. You know, as I enjoy talking to clients, you know, we love doing each task.
Play on each other's strengths. I think that's also another element that makes you such a strong team. I love that. I'm so happy for you guys. I'm so excited about this album. I can't wait to hear the next 3 songs. Are they going to be coming out as singles?
Oh yeah.
We haven't figured out. You're thinking about, yeah, Sammy.
Oh, we try to make we really create this project as a whole body of work, you know. But we wanted to create like a side A, if you can say, of the album that is more leaning into the Latin side or Spanish even, which is so funny because then, for example, even like Teo learning slangs, Venezuelan slangs, which is also crazy. On this rabbit hole lately, bruh.
Yeah.
I need to send you so many TikToks, Theo, because then I started to see so many words that we have in Venezuela that are originally from Italy. And then even the song Malandro,
Wow.
I think it comes from Malandrino or something like that. Malandrino, what?
Wow.
What? Exactly. They was like, wait, Malandra, Malandra.
Like, oh my god.
What are you saying? What? Even so many words. Cifrino. I think cifrino comes from say fregno. What means that? It's a curse?
Say freño.
No. Fregno.
It really comes from that.
Yes.
Wow. That's crazy.
My point is literally so many things that we were thinking. We were teaching Teo to speak Venezuelan slang, but it's a transformation of the immigrants that went from to Venezuela. Is so crazy. And that's a very important thing to say, because as kids, for example, the Venezuelan members, it was so common to see, for example, in the capital. I'm from Caracas. Like it was very diverse. We received a lot of people back in the days. Venezuela used to be a paradise, and all of that influence is also something so beautiful that ended up like that, having a mark in the culture, I would say.
Wow, that is so cool. I did not know that at all, that there was that crossover, but it makes sense. I mean, people have been coming to and from forever, so it makes sense the culture influenced each other.
It's a beautiful.
Knows the Italian anthem better than I do.
That's also so funny. It's so funny. But I wanted to say, it's so interesting because, of course, we have a lot of Venezuelan audience also from probably people that started to follow Rafa in the past, and then I don't know, they are now here, and now we have Italian fans because of Teo. Like I'm receiving like DMs all the time, like of people like, "What are you saying?" I need to translate everything. So
that's amazing. Music is becoming so much more global, and I think the Latin market expanding into the US domestic market, into the European market, into the South American market. I mean, all of those things are becoming intertwined. So I think you guys are at the right time, right place, right sound, to really just make this huge.
I wanted to connect it with your question. Is that like the other side of the album, but it's part of the same body of work. We wanted to make it more for the American market, if you can say it like that. We have so many people that are fans of the band that they don't speak a word in Spanish. That second part of the album gonna be more in English, if you can say it like that. But our plan is to release it this year, so yeah, hopefully.
That's exciting. I mean, I love that concept of making bilingual music, or sort of a side A, side B situation, because I think there is no reason as artists for us to limit ourselves into one language or one market anymore. I think really the concept of genre and domesticality has really started to not be relevant anymore.
And that's the thing.
One of my questions, I guess, relating to that is, for Spotify playlisting and things of that nature, promotional materials, would you say that the Spanish or Latin elements of the songs would go more towards Latin playlists, and then the more American catered side of this album would be catered towards a different set of playlists?
Definitely, yeah. I mean,
Yeah, because I think that's one of the main elements that labels tend to shy away from, but as independent artists, you're able to do it all.
a beautiful thing is that now we're managing that instead of a label.
Yeah.
So I sat down. It takes time to sit down and talk to the curators and do the pitches. Yes, the music is a universal language, and now Bad Bunny is all over, and reggaeton has opened a lot of doors. That's a truth. But there is also people that they just want to listen to English songs. Yes, give me my songs in English. So we have some songs that are only English, and we have songs that are only Spanish or mainly in Spanish. So when you have a song that is mainly in Spanish, like Mandibuleo,
And songs like that, like No Me Importa,
No Me Importa,
that have all of it.
yeah. But you get I mean, Mandibuleo, I did the pitch and I said, okay, this is closer to the Caribbean merengue style. I see the numbers growing up, going up in Mexico, for example. They love the song. And Dominican Republic, they love the song. Colombia, they love the song. And there's other songs like Así Llegaste Tú, which is a ballad that I see the numbers in Italy, by the way, because it's a song that is Teo singing most of the song, you know. And in Italy, the song is the number one song in Italy is that one. So we can curate, we can send the songs to each playlist and to each platform because they don't work the same in different platforms. In TikTok right now, we're popping up with No Me Importa. That's the song that it has some millions, by the way. That's beautiful numbers.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
But I love when things like that happen. I don't know how you feel about that, but like this is not the first time that something like that happened. That we are like, okay, so how we should pitch this, because what's our genre, or like, you know, style, or even the language. And when, I don't know, when you see it, like when it's hard for us to compare it with another project, or like to see that, so there's probably, we are like trying to find our own niche, you know. I don't know, to me something amazing.
And
Original.
that's
Absolutely.
Yeah.
one of the things that we were saying in one of the meetings that we had before the album came out, and with our team, and they were saying they were almost trying to limit us to speaking only one language, or only English, or only Spanish, because that's important. But at the same time, the core of what we are, it's not like that we're trying to speak in English because we want to enter the American market, or we're trying to speak only Spanish because we're trying. No, like literally the way that we talk to us is Spanglish. And so we're now
I relate to that 100%.
Pero
Yeah, pero like.
And that's the way that we speak, that's the way that we communicate. And for so long, you know, I was lucky enough to be raised speaking 5 languages in my home. And when I was speaking to the people, like people were thinking, oh, he's trying to brag or something, or he's trying to do. No, I was just trying to communicate the best way that I could. And I was lucky enough that I was just in that position of speaking those languages. But it's not that like people were judging me for just trying to be myself. And nowadays, like I've realized that if I want to speak in English, or if I want to speak Spanglish, or if I want to speak Spanish, I'm going to speak from a place of truth. And I think that this band, we speak from this part of truth. Like this is how we are. Like we have a band member that only speaks English. Like we're not just going to speak Spanish, you know? And then when we speak in Spanish, we're always going to add some part in English because sometimes a Spanish word doesn't come out. And then we'll add some Italian here and there. But that's the fun thing. Like it's not like we're trying to be someone and creating this personaje, this persona. No, we are. And that was one thing that we wanted to be clear with our partners in this album, and that I love that they finally understood. And of course, each song is going to go in its own world, and there is going to be publics and places and countries that are going to react in a different way and in better ways. But at least we know that we're being honest with ourselves, and that we're not trying to be someone that we're not.
Amen.
Wow. I love that. I love it. I think that's such an important thing to think about in a project as well. That's something I've, dealt with a lot as an independent artist. I've been making bilingual Latin pop or pop R&B since like 2018. And one thing that I was told a lot in the beginning was pick a lane, pick a lane, pick a lane.
There's a need.
Don't speak both. No one's going to care. No one's going to understand it. And it caused me to honestly, kind of swing back and forth a little bit. But I feel like I've really come into a resolve where I'm just going to make what makes sense to me.
Yeah.
And I mean, I can speak a Spanglish now. It's now it's an official dialect
Right?
of
I
English.
saw that.
So I think that's all the permission that I.
Please don't let anybody throw their fears on you, because it's important to understand that sometimes people come from a space of love, but fear, and they fear that you're not going to be successful because they have this fear. And then I remember I arrived here 2015, 200 on my pocket. I'm never gonna forget and stop saying that and telling that story. And so I went to the studio of a producer, and he said, well, what do you want to do? And I said, I want to put together a band. And I don't know, man, I want to be like Santana, but with my 4 strings, my cuatro. And he laughed. And he said, like, you have to put your feet on the ground, man. The bands, it doesn't work. It doesn't work like that anymore. I see you like teaching cuatro in Doral because there's a lot of Venezuelans there now. And I said, well, thank you. 2 years later, he saw me on stage with Los Wizzards performing in Wingwood, and he was mouth open, and he said, afterwards, he came to me and apologizing. I said, bro, don't worry about it. I understand. But he apologized beautifully, and he said, I remember making fun of you, and you made it, dude. Like, I said, bro, I believe in myself, so I need just the right people to believe in and share this dream with me, and I'm gonna make it happen. And here we are.
Sir.
The power of music is something that you cannot like measure, because then you get to see so many important moments happen in the culture. I would say from, I don't know, from Queen performing in Brazil and everybody singing word by word, like the lyrics in English. Recently, for example, Roy went to Japan, and he was doing this dancehall and reggae festival, and he got so surprised that so many people like love Jamaican culture, and they dress like them, and the braids, and they know how to speak patois. So he was like, wow, it's so beautiful to see them studying our thing and trying to learn more. So when the music is good, like, people gonna connect it.
There's no
Connect
criteria.
anyway. Yeah, they're gonna find a way.
So you go, girl.
Thank you guys. No, I feel like this has been such an inspirational conversation for myself personally, for anyone listening. And I'm really, really grateful that I got to have a conversation with you guys. Thank you again for your time. Thank you again for your wisdom. Wink, wink. Oh my gosh. Where can my audience follow along with you guys on YouTube, Spotify, Instagram?
OnlyFans, everywhere.
No, you guys?
We have to pay for the album.
Okay, hey, I'm not gonna yuck the yum. I get it.
But I want to say, like, thank you for real for this conversation, because yeah, it's so cool when you have a conversation like this with someone that really appreciate, love music, and understand it, and also make music. It's, I don't know, it's another layer of conversation. So,
And we don't take it for granted at all. So we're so grateful for everybody that is listening. We're so grateful for you, Magnifica Jasmineortiz. And of course, everybody, they can listen to Los Wizzards everywhere on Spotify, on YouTube, on Apple Music. And you can find us on every single platform with our name, Los Wizzards.
With 2 Z's.
Wizzz.
Wizards.
Perfect. Thank you guys so much again for your time. Once again, this was the Jasmine Ortiz Show. We'll see you guys next time.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.